Set on up. The Rumble is going. Twitch is going. Twitter is going. And Kick looks like it's going. Looks like everything's going good. I'm gonna fit the live chat windows. And looks like that's all good. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything's good to go. Let's see. Oh yeah, one last thing I've just remembered. I need to turn on my macros so I can move the turns with WASD. Because that's actually how I do pretty much my regular RTS games. Also need to open up the string. And now I think I'm good to go. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web Replay. As well on the north side as the... was this Acid Rain? Yeah, Acid Rain Javier. We got Uxna? Butcher that name well enough. Spawn on the south side as the Tion, no, Azure Asteroid. We have Salk, or Azure Asteroid Von Bolt. Wow, I'm already messing up my intro. Either way, let's get started. This is a 3-base map, 1 airport. Both players do start out with a basic 1 health cruiser on the map, which could influence Ex Machina, but unlikely. Let's see, what else is there to mention? There's also a seaport here, pretty much only meant for transports. Or, well, not even for a black boat. After all, a black boat will go from here to here. Well, I don't think there's enough distance here to really warrant a black boat or lander. We do have an APC now floating on the field. And Von Bolt or Javier's assigned for infantry. This map is a, well, technically 2 comm towers, which effectively means 1 comm tower per person map, and Javier's thus will get plus 10% defense as his day-to-day bonus, plus 20% additional indirect defense. The more and more I look at Javier, the more I realize how powerful that plus 20% indirect defense. Makes me wonder that he's actually good on single comm tower maps, because that's effectively plus 30% total versus indirect defense. Not to mention, you're just probably going to be on a regular forward, so plus 40% indirect defense? This is starting into some good levels of defense against indirects. It effectively nullifies your opponent from going for any sort of indirect play, or effective or mass indirect play. Von Bolt can't be going for too much. He does go 2 recons, which are not indirect units, they are in fact direct units. Big shocker there. But I'm more and more getting Javier games, more and more I'm appreciating his indirect defense build bonus. Sure, if only 1 comm power, his power is not super powerful. It gives him effectively plus 10 on single comm tower maps, with the course additional plus 10 for activating power and or superpower. So 20% firepower and defense boost. Honestly, it's like a weak samurai spirit. It's one of those things like, it's small, but maybe useful. Oh, deletes his cruiser there. The cruiser does provide decent spotting, though with these entry units' current placement, it will provide equal amount of spotting. That's not always guaranteed. Got another recon artillery there, so Javier's going heavy in artillery as well as recon, so we've got double recon, double artillery. Von Bolt, of course, has a day-to-day pass of 10 plus 10 plus 10. So his day-to-day pass is better for direct units. Tank infantry. Give me 1 moment. Just need to switch over. I've actually forgot to pull my YouTube live stream. Keep an eye on a live chat. Sometimes it seems like YouTube is the least responsive for my live chat windows what's it called? plugin or program. It's actually not a plugin, but it is actually a full program. For those who are wondering, I do cast these replays live and then re-upload them 4K 60 FPS, though that's probably not super important when it comes to this game. Got a good shot there on artillery, and this tank here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is out of range of this tank there, spots it, and probably be feeling really good about his tank position there by putting on his opponent's HQ, so this tank placement is surprisingly a good spot. On top of your opponent's HQ. That's usually a spot you don't see your tank on. That was why for defense stars as well, so even if a tank did strike against it, it will be a bit rough going. Got another tank and anti-air here. It's always good to go, I've been told to go for anti-air before turn 10, because an early battlecopter can just simply wreak havoc if you don't have a single anti-air on the field. In this case, there's a T-copter on the field. So the wrong type of copter to go swoy. Because you need an R-copter for that. A rough? Okay, I probably over-explained that joke. Good shot there on the recon. And that recon does identify the artillery piece there, but I believe that other tank is out of vision range. T-copter pushing way forward. Artillery does get back on top of the forest there, make it a little bit difficult spot, can provide some fire support. And a reinforcement tank is in range, just out of vision range. Anti-air, infantry, and battlecopter. Javier, has he got an anti-air out? Doesn't appear to be. So, I wonder if he goes anti-air soon. Both of these COs have good battlecopters, or completely adequate battlecopters. But let's be frank, plus 10% defense does not matter for battlecopters in nearly every situation. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry. Good strike there on the infantry. Recon will spot a whole lot of stuff. That's more or less a job of recon unit. This tank can't get a strike on this tank here. The artillery piece would be out of range, but he would receive retaliation from this tank here. And with our cast vision, we see this tank also within range. So it's probably going to need another charge for this tank. And now the more and more I really think about it. One of these things, if you ever wonder, is like, I wonder if you wonder, here's my intelligence level. I usually have to sort of talk out thinking, what if he does this? Oh, that's a bad idea. Sort of idea. So whenever you get advice from me, just assume it's bad advice. Artillery did get a good strike there on that tank, and that was within vision range, I believe. And good follow-up shot there. We've got 2 reinforced tanks here. This one is in vision range. 1, 2, 3. Yep. I wonder, it's glowing blue. I wonder if they sort of change it so that if it's in vision range, it actually glows blue. Because beforehand, as you can see here, you've got this visual bug when the comes to replay viewer where both sort of shows both players' vision when it comes to the lit up tiles. But this time, the lit up units may be now a way how they sort of patched that a little bit. So I'm going to keep that on in the future. If the unit glows, like I said, then it's clearly spotted. Good strike there. Does get a boost, not boost strike, it's not a Kindle. Good strike with 3 defense to 0 defense. And actually only take 1 damage in turn. That seems a little bit lucky, honestly. No, that is actually reliable in that situation. Though, granted, it's probably on the lower end of 9 rather than the higher end. Anti-air battlecopter or anti-air recon tank. Anti-air going down both directions makes sense. Currently, Von Bolt's battlecopters over here. Tank does strike tank. It looks like he is... Oh yeah, both players have 10% defense, so it does sort of stack up. But the retaliation damage was... Yep, a little bit lower since he does not plus limited firepower. Because usually it does a little more damage in turn, but I guess in this matchup where both players have plus limited defense, it does actually... is quite handy. We do have a tower shield available, which could give him +20/+20 effectively. We got a Neo tank deployed in the field as well by Von Bolt. Von Bolt right now has 24,000 come. Javier has 22. There, let's see. This property could be flipping. That's probably the property that's not. Got a neutral property over here as well. So one despicable neutral property. There's probably another. Yep, there's the other despicable neutral property there. So that's the key differences when it comes to symmetrical capture so far this game. Mech is pushing his way forward. Now, overall, Javier could push pretty good up here, but there's no vision. Recon may be used for that. Battlecopter heading down south for the winter. Infantry, Neo tank infantry. Well, it doesn't really need to go down south the winter. He's not fighting against Olaf. But both players now have a Neo tank. Battlecopter does good strike there. Pretty sure this anti-air is out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, just out of range. You can count tiles of potentially where anti-air is at, because after all, you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so you know where possible. If you don't know where anti-air could be at, then you could hazard a guess it would be along this diagonal axis. Sometimes counting tiles is not always successful, but sometimes if you're going to make a gamble, try to make a smart gamble. In this case, can't say if he knew the anti-air was over there or not. Don't think he ever spotted it, but it was a smart gamble and a successful gamble. At least not from retaliation damage from any sort of anti-air. Von Bolt insert for 138. Javier starts from 112, so it feels like Javier's falling a little bit behind. But can still go either way. He has a mech and range of this tank. One health infantry unit's not important in this situation. He could also pop a tower shield. No indirects here for additional indirect defense, because this goes from 20, 40 to 80, if I remember correctly, when it comes to indirect defense. Absurd amount of indirect defense. Pops a tower shield, just generated a little power charge there, so it has +20/+20. Help him resist additional damage there. Good strike there. And this battlecopter is in range of this anti-air, barring some meat in the way. Tank does end turn there, but that's simple enough to kill off. Though he may be able to use a 1 health infantry. Probably what he could do is have this tank go over here, strike. Actually, no. This full health infantry unit should be pretty reliable picking off that tank there. Give me a moment. Oh, did I misclick? Actually, that is a bit of a gamble. Max luck roll is guaranteed, but I don't know what fractional health it has. Yeah, hard to say. I think that's pretty good chance for good luck. Ooh, only took 5 damage there. That had. Let's just take a look. Let's see how much did the power absorb. Because right now he's on 0 defense stars, 46/52. So and he rolled 5 damage. It's hard to say how lucky roll that is, since of course fractional health. But without the power, this would be... That would have been pretty much a guaranteed kill. So the power did save it. If 1 health is saving. We saved the city. Strikes the mech there, very nice. Is going to take that gamble shot there. Was successful. Take out the battlecopter. Mech gets knocked up the recon. 1 health tank's not doing all too well. A-tier able... The defense stacking takes it beyond the top of the city. Took a lot of hits there. Does finish off a 1 health tank and got a massive blob here of Von Bolt. And remember as well, Von Bolt almost has Ex Machina. Depending how Javier's next turn go, he may get his opponent a Ex Machina will likely strike the Neo tank. It strikes the highest value, right? Let me just double check. I'm bringing it up on another tab. Bomb Bolt, greatest accumulation of value. Which is probably the best targeting system. If I remember correctly as well, Bomb Bolt's superpower can strike open ground, while Sturm's Meteor has to strike, what's it called? A certain unit, must target a unit. And I think Tabata from Days of Ruin is the same as Sturm. Though I think hers can actually strike open ground as well, but she does have to think the 3 Sturm Meteor profiles. Javier's getting some damage. I don't think that was worth sacking a recon like that. That recon could be used for vision. Bomb Bolt right now is 23,000 income. Javier's at 24. He has done a flip. He's also making opportunity for this comm tower. That is actually quite big. If Javier gets that comm tower, then his tower shield will not be providing +20/+20. It will be doubling the 2 effects plus the day-to-day 10. So that'd be +30/+30, which is almost as good as a Samurai Spirit. Which doesn't that like provide +50/+50 or +40/+40? Actually, we'll bring that with another monitor while this turn's going. Samurai Spirit is +40/+50, and counterattacks do +50% damage. He is pulling back there, and Javier will grab this comm tower. It feels like Von Bolt's in a better position. He does have more value in field, but flipping this comm tower is actually quite critical. And there we go. Now he has +20/+20 versus his opponent's day-to-day +10/+10. So he simply has advantage. He can take the Neotank to strike his opponent's Neotank, maybe with a tower shield first. Try to get a little bit extra power charge going. He got his tower shield, pops it. Now he has +30/+30, +20. So in total, he has +50/+50 this turn. And not to mention, his indirects are taking 90% less damage in total against indirects. Which his opponent does not have indirects, but still. The chance of an Ex Machina is very likely, but +50/+50 for this turn, or has in total, is very significant to say the least. Why not attack that Neotank? Is he trying to be bulletproof on top of the city? Only take 4 to 5% damage in return, but will do half damage. I don't think I necessarily agree with that. Sure, he'd be parked on open ground, but he has +50% defense in total. Tank anti-air. The chance of Ex Machina is likely to turn. His opponent needs to get a bit of power charge. Just needs to get additional 4,000 damage. He can probably sack a tank into this Neotank and get it pretty easily. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. Full health recon. Look at that. plus a 3 defense stars is like 80% additional defense. He took more damage. Sorry. I just love when stupid things like that happen. He took more damage from infantry unit than doing a recon versus infantry. Yep. So effectively he's bulletproof this turn. He does not feel comfortable taking any engagements. He could pop an Ex Machina this turn, or could have, and that would, of course, cancel a bunch of his opponent's units' movement next turn, which will likely strike right here, because they got the artillery and the Neotank, or strike right here, which also strike the T-Copter. Yeah, it would strike right here. But simply not the case. He needs to perhaps try to bait out Ex Machina on this Neotank. It's off the distance, so he can sack that. And there is the Ex Machina now available. Right now, the Ex Machina will likely strike right here. Gotta keep this Neotank away from this formation. He does not want Ex Machina to strike over here. Because right now, it will strike right here. Which will... 4,000, 5,000, and then 3 1,000s. It's actually a coin flip if it strikes right here or right here, I believe. Could strike here. Not sure where exactly it's going. It could strike over here or right here. I do not like this Neotank polisher just been thrown off the side from, I don't know. Pops the Ex Machina. And none of these guys are stunned and they weren't within vision, so likely did strike right here. He's going to charge forward here. He needs to have the medium tank and the Neotank strike this Neotank. He needs to flip that properly, that's for sure. He decides not to strike that Neotank. Guess he doesn't want to deal with a plus 20% defense, a plus with on top of the city as well. Effectively plus 50% defense, which is quite significant. He's just going to dogpile onto the column tower. He needs to seize that back. He realizes this is basically a win condition for Javier having this. Javier needs probably to try to interrupt this capture. He has a battlecopter here. This medium tank's out of range. If he were to strike the medium tank... will get some amount of damage, won't one-shot it. The weakest part of the wall is this entry unit there, but it's good luck to try and arrange it. He also has no real vision of it. Strikes the... ooh! Neotank gets trapped by the battlecopter. That could be a game-losing move there. He should have tried getting some sort of vision first. And with that, he resigns. I think him being trapped there was the game-losing move, of all things. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Because that Neotank had to strike something important, and it did not. Oh, it struck a battlecopter with its face. Give me a moment to adjust the... this. This music. Is this always Justice theme? With the advanced boot camp? I don't remember this version. It must be the unique intro one. Yep, that seems good. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars Spyweb replay. Spawn bottom left side as, or the bottom side as the fire red Jake. We got Biddlesiv. Spawn north side as the orange star Jess. We got Profeta7. Oh, I butchered that name well enough. I've been butchering all my pronunciation today. This map is a 3-base map with an airport in the center. Got a strong side and weak side mechanic. Black Boat did get moved off the HQ there, while Jess stays there. There's a seaport here for refueling, as well as right here. Both players do start with recon here, provides a decent amount of scouting in the corner. We'll see this base there, and potentially anything that gets driven along this side. A mech, I think, is the best way to deal with it. You simply just take a mech, charge onto the mountain, start firing away at it, and then take the 3 turns to capture up the property. We have now a piece supported by Jake. Jake is the plane specialist, and Jess is, of course, the vehicle specialist. And I don't know why, I think the plugin used for soundtracks is doing a little bit, playing a little bit different theme for Jess. I don't know why, I don't remember this little sound with her theme before. Maybe I'm just going crazy. And she will take time to, or Jake will take time to barrage Jess's recon in the corner. And Jake is going heavy for artillery. He does get bonus damage from attacking from planes, including air units, but his set of powers are a little bit more of a mixed bag. He gets the increased planes firepower from 10 to 20 to 30%, nothing too significant, but with his power, indirect units get +1 range, which is a relatively rare bonus benefit that's usually only available to Grit, excluding Jake. And for his Block Rock, it does provide only +1 range for indirects as well, but also makes his vehicles, precisely vehicles, get +2 range, or +2 movement range. Jess, of course, gets +10 firepower for all vehicles, all ground vehicles, while all of her air units, as well as naval units, get -10% less firepower. But soldiers completely neutral. And we do have the black boat over here. Both guys move the black boat. Recon does advance way forward. There's a good number of shores here, and shores are just equal to roads, bar for at least for wheeled units. So recons have pretty good mobility on this map. Got multiple artillery pieces, as well as multiple tanks by both sides. Quite heavy in artillery for both sides, honestly. Though Jess does have 2 artillery pieces over here. This should be the strong side, so maybe better go for tanks on the side rather than go for artillery, in my opinion. Does break through there, and does strike the and interrupt that capture, and trying to go for a zone capture now. Interrupts this capture as well, leaving the properties despicable and neutral. Double already on the 2 base sides, a bit brave with the tempo loss. That's one thing as well. I think on the strong side, you want to be more direct. Literally, direct units. You want mobility and smash through. You don't want to take time to set up. Howdy. Both these COs do have good artillery nonetheless. Just in sort of different manners. It's still a good idea for Jake to put his artillery on planes, or not planes, on forests, because it's better not to be seen. If I were to make a reference to another YouTube creator I listen to, Spookson, who does War Thunder videos, the survivability Undian. The first thing is, not being seen is the best way to stay alive. Because you can't die if you've never seen to begin with. Battlecopter pushing into the center as well. Jake's battlecopters are either adequate or good. With the number of planes in this map, they are just generally probably pretty good. Jess battlecopters do have -10% firepower, so hers will be inferior in all situations, but still perfectly adequate. -10% is not too big of an issue. But +10% firepower from attacking planes is always quite nice, since they don't really care what terrain they stop on. Tank gets a good strike there. This tank could get a booster strike from his planes and retaliate. Takes time to create this opening. Down to 51 health, so maybe a tank will help finish off here. ATR tank. Battlecopter strikes infantry. Interrupts a capture once again. Right now, Jake has 25,000 versus 22,000. So he is in a position where he could technically deploy out Neo tank every turn. Though battlecopters are still pretty nice. Jake does have 2 tanks here, and has a decent amount of infantry creeping the way forward. There is a possibility he could try sprinting the city. Looking at the city is not exactly usually a possibility, but this infantry unit could get on top of the mountain, then it could draw one of Jess's units for an entire turn to interrupt it while it's on top of the mountain, then he could start capturing it. Those 2 tanks plus infantry clear the tank on the HQ. Let's see now. In one turn, I'm assuming. Let's see. Possibly? This was just offhand math, though. It's a little bit probably up to RNG at that point. Does hit those units there, but Jess has no vision of both these tanks. Jake can get a double tap on both these tanks, strike both the tanks once. So I think Jake's in pretty good position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, this tank can get on top of fours, and this tank can strike from either of these shores. Got a couple artillery here, a couple tanks. Jake does have, of course, artillery piece on top of HQ. Big Ben. Also, we do have a Neo tank down south for him. And does double tap there. He can pop a beat down if needed. Primarily if he needs +1 indirect range, but it's probably best to save the block rock for +2 movement range. Takes the recon. Another Neo tank over here, so he's going for mass Neo tanks. 26,000 versus 22,000, so Jake's in pretty good position. Does take out one of the battle copters though. No vision. Oh, turbocharge. I was not expecting a mid-game turbocharge. She does have a decent amount of power charge left over, so could go for a follow-up turbocharge. Block rocks now available. Takes out the last bit of pipe scene there. Does manage to get some good damage over here. Knocks out 2 tanks. Very good. The counterattack was a bit better than expected. Another tank there. Battlecopter infantry. Resupply there from the black boat. Didn't say it consumed his turn, but definitely did. Jake starts his turn, but nice even 100,000. Jess ends turn with 124, so they're still pretty even. Just add day to day. He is player 2, so always add player 2's income to that. And here comes a block rock. So +2 movement range on his ground vehicles and +1 indirect range for his indirects. So that can range that, but that's the only indirect in range of anything. Which he does against the thing that was already within range, but additional 10% firepower never hurts. Takes an anti-air there, just leaving this battlecopter a bit of free reign. We do have the anti-air here. Goes from boost strike here for +30% additional firepower. This artillery piece is almost out of ammo. This one must have been shelling the pipe scene and the recon. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. So Jake does have 2 Neo tanks to push both fronts. Got a lot of regular tanks up here, which is going to be a bit of a problem for Jake. He does have 1 artillery piece here. And this 1 of HP unit would be harder to displace than you would imagine because it's on top of the forest. Let's spot the artillery piece there. Finish off the 2 infantry unit there. Does hit there. Now the artillery piece will be ranged by all the tanks. 4 off artillery could strike the 4 health tank. We'll get a booster strike of +10% firepower, minus down +4% because that 4 HP. Takes out that last unit there. Jess in turn 120, Jake's turn 115. It feels like Jake's not in a great position, but he does still have 2 Neo tanks field, which has free reign of the map. Oh, the 4 health artillery piece does manage to take out 4 health tank there. How close was that? I'm just having trouble clicking on that button today. It looks like it was on fractional health. It's hard to say how the luck played, but maybe a little bit on the lucky side. Interrupts the capture there. Neotank will take a nice shot there from that artillery piece, which is on top of Forest. But once he does spot it, he's actually within range of his artillery piece if he pops a beat down. Oh, gets trapped there on that infantry unit there. Minor loss there. Going to flip the property, do a flip. And Jake still has a pretty high income advantage. Neotank infantry. Could possibly see a turbocharge this turn. Neotank up here. Oh, turbocharge. I was not expecting that. Neotank gets struck, getting access to a beatdown. Which that turbocharge was actually probably pretty good. Got 5 points of damage on the Neotank, so that's 11,000 damage effectively. And artillery is what? I think I always forget the exact value of artillery. That's 6,000, right? So very good shot there. And his own artillery piece went down there, so can't counter barrage. It's rule for Jess with 1 con without power. Jake needs 2 planes with 1 con to make a roll as well. You probably just replying to the comment above. Apologies. Yeah. I can't say off the top of my head at this point in time. It seemed like it's a little bit iffy. It's hard to say. Nope, does get trapped there. He spot the artillery piece, though with just 4 health infantry unit there, and won't be able to retaliate on it. And there's a lot of force here, so Jake just may want to be defensive. This is the weak side, of course. 2 Neotanks is one way to be defensive. Offense is the best defense. Once again, this artillery piece is in range of the Neotank, just needs a little bit of spotting. Infantry went the wrong way for spotting. Actually, no. I am an idiot. No, that was for spotting. He spots the Neotank because it's got increased vision range. I am such an idiot. Strikes that Neotank there. Strikes it again. So Jess is getting very good shots in response to Neotanks. Jake has only been staying in the game because he just has far superior income. Jess is playing the game much better. Recon infantry, Neotank infantry forward, tank. And 10,000 income left. No battlecopter. I was expecting battlecopter. Neotank falls back. But still, 29,000 for 21,000. Jake's able to take these hits. Sort of poorly. But he is not in the greatest economic situation. Ooh, that's a bit bold. There is, of course, the anti-air and tank that he had perfectly good vision of. Artillery infantry. I'm not too impressed by that battlecopter attack. It's in perfect range of the anti-airs, and he had a vision of it. After all, he had at least a vision of this anti-air. I don't know if he had a vision of this anti-air this time, but he saw this anti-air. Artillery strikes that tank, finishes off the wounded tank there, takes out the battlecopter there, and trying to do a flip. Howdy, it's been a while. And still no. Got another block rock deployed on the field. Neotank will strike Neotank on top of the HQ, and that's 4 defense stars, and he has no defense stars here, so took a bit of retaliation damage. Good damage shot there. Does spot the tank. Tank on tank with a boosted plane strike. Anti-air will finish off thanks to the boosted plane strike. And now I do have an overdrive available. Neotank strikes anti-air. Neo strikes artillery. Artillery range is in range of both Neotanks. Of course, she's not Eagle, so no double turn. Oh, I didn't realize that Black Book took a hit. Infantry, battlecopter, infantry, anti-air. This Neotank did get a bit of repairs going. I wonder if it's better to go for turbocharge and strike the 7 health or the 4 health. Though this artillery piece is in range. No vision of this artillery piece though. Oh, never mind. There's just his overdrive. Use the Neotank, strike the Neotank. Artillery strikes the Neotank, knocks it out. 7 hit points. Ooh, that had to been not only low in health, but probably a higher luck roll. Takes out the artillery piece there, puts some rounds in the anti-air, finish off the battle copter. Strikes the captured infantry unit there. Artillery strikes that Neotank, gets 6 points of damage. You know that was a little bit higher than 50% chance luck roll. But still, either way, cost effective. Jess ends turn of 130, Jake starts turn of 83, so Jake is taking some pretty sizable losses. Looks like Jake's higher income is not paying off enough dividends. There's some very small strikes here and there. Oh, there's a good trap there. This tank could be knocked out by one of these tanks, and then perhaps this tank can follow up hit there. Almost both are out of vision range, so you need to scout out where that tank is at, as well as the artillery. Good strike there. This Neotank is in range of this Neotank. May need to gamble on top of the city. Nope. Forest. Be safe. Don't want to get trapped right there and then get trapped for the Neotank to retaliate. Takes out the anti-air. Wait, I wasn't paying attention last turn. Jake went for a bomber, which can't get planes booster strikes, so more reliable killing stuff. And Jess is not the point of too many too many anti-airs at the moment, so this bomber could have free reign. Excuse me. Getting some hiccups lately. Battlecopter, recon, artillery. More spawning for the bomb would be quite nice. With a planes booster strike, it could probably do some serious work versus the anti-air. Anti-air, infantry. I am sort of curious as well. Let's see, how effective is a Jake bomber versus a anti-air on open plains? That plus 10% firepower will give him a guaranteed one shot against the anti-air in open plains. And that recon's very dead. Tank, anti-air, or recon tank. Tank will strike the anti-air. Anti-air will be knocked out. Got second anti-air over here. Probably should go for another anti-air just for defense. We do now have a beatdown available. Let's see. A beatdown could allow his indirect range to be still out of range of everything. Bomber will nuke a tank there, even if it's on 3 defense stars. Neotank a good strike there, but within range of a Jess artillery, which can be followed up with a regular tank, or a regular Neotank. Got 2 Neotanks here for defense. Takes the recon. Artillery is in a good diagonal position there, in range of beat down the Neotank, or shell it, shellac it, if you will. Recon gets off the mounted there. We'll spot some good stuff there, and we've got turbocharge now active. Going to try to make something work. Does have, of course, the good barrage here from this artillery piece. Managed to range the bomber and able to one-shot it. Oh, let's see. Yep, the +1 movement range is all she needed. That tank spotted the bomber and was in range, and that's why she popped the power. That was a very good hit there. Artillery does finish follow up with a shot on the Neo Tank. Strikes the Neo Tank there. Trying to flip the property. Lots of good hits there, but now got the Neo Tank to receive some shelling from the artillery piece with a full block rock. This one will get plus 50% additional firepower. This one will be just completely and utterly normal. Answer of 169,000 field versus 109, so he is currently down by approximately 30,000. And here comes the block rock. Neo Tank strike Neo Tank from boosted planes. Artillery shelling the Neo Tank. Does not take out the Neo Tank. Does not take out the Neo Tank. Oh, that thing must be at 1% health right now. Artillery, anti-air. I don't think artillery is a good option. Like I said, it's pretty slow. I'm most half wondering in my mind is maybe a rocket right here and put it on top of his planes tile. I'm assuming destroyed pipe scenes counts as planes when it comes to his passive day-to-day, which could help him range the defenses region, and just having one unit right there is quite feasible. Which is one reason why I always think maybe a pipe runner wouldn't be half bad on this thing, but it's probably still not a good idea. I think the only CO can actually deploy out pipe runners reliably is probably Hachi, because he can just simply load it on a city. If a pipe runner is on top of a city, I know it can't move back on the city, but does a pipe runner on a city receive day-to-day repairs? I have no idea the answer to that question. Tank. Good counterattack in the center. Tank. So just got triple tank last turn. She does have 21,000, and Jake still is 29,000. He has a sizable income lead, but Jess has been playing this far better. Battlecopter gets knocked out. You now have power available for Jess. And this Neo Tank will go from 1% health to 30% health next turn. Is that capturing unit there? Neo Tank infantry. I was thinking maybe a medium tank. And then Battlecopter. Speaking of Battlecopters, Turbocharge active. I mean, good headwinds on the right side. It's basically disintegrated. Only a Neo Tank here. Black Bolt goes down. Strikes the artillery piece over there. Does have access to another turbocharge. Tank. Infantry. Tank. And now it's Jake's turn. Has 67,000 starting out versus 134. He is severely behind. Strikes the infantry unit there. Oh! And the Battlecopter gets trapped. Trapped in Neo Tank there. And he knew what that Neo Battlecopter was. Must have forgot about it. It says Global League, so it's... yeah. But getting that trap there is not great. Though it's not in any threat of dying. Just a waste of a turn for a Neo Tank. Anti-air, Battlecopter, Tank, anti-air. And managed to strike. He's on the base lock. Artillery or Battlecopter strikes the Neo Tank. And he can start flipping the HQ. So we've got the HQ capture progress. Neo Tank can interrupt. Put the artillery on right there. Nope. Put the artillery right there to prevent the interrupt, and you will guarantee to win the game. It can now be interrupted. Artillery, battlecopter, infantry. He can interrupt there, though he has to gamble of reaching there, but I don't. He has to gamble it, and he hits the resign button, so no gamble. As Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. A moment to adjust the window. That seems reasonable enough. Greetings everyone, Angrade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawned on the south side as the Jade Sun Olaf, we got Moji 6. Spawned on the north side as the Acid Rain Von Bolt, we got Hapal Huli? Don't know how to pronounce that properly. Either way, let's go and get started. This is a 3-base map of 1 airport, so probably a good amount of infantry this game. There's also a seaport here, you can deploy out a transport of some sort. I don't think it's ever really useful. This map does offer a pair of comm towers. Recon deployed out by Olaf. The long game goes on, the more likely I'm assuming Olaf will have an advantage in this situation with Winter Fury. However, Von Bolt's Ex Machina could lock down a critical force, and if he locks down a critical force, it's probably game over. So it's a little bit, it all depends where Von Bolt's superpower will land. Hard to say exactly where, especially right now. Recon. So we got a APC by Von Bolt, while Olaf is going for double recon. This map does have these much roads on the field as well as properties for early easy traversement for wheeled units, so it seems reasonable enough. Von Bolt has a lot of tanks, so it has Olaf. Does strike that infantry there, interrupts the capture. Artillery piece deployed in the field. And Von Bolt's recon's heading more south. We'll spot a whole lot in nothing moment. Tank. Tank, infantry. This tank is likely out of range. Yep. Oh, the recon. Recon does need to start falling back. Mika just go, yep, on top of the force. Got now a artillery piece there, tank and infantry. So Olaf's now pulled off a pair of indirects. Recon, tank, and possibly another infantry. Or, nope, double recon. Von Bolt ends turn 69,000. Olaf starts turn 58. Got now tank, anti-air, infantry. No battle props just yet, but you generally want to go for anti-air no later than day 10. There's another opening point goes for a battle copter. Anti-air. Anti-air infantry. Good strike there by the Recon. Another pair of tanks for Olaf. Battlecopter will interrupt the capture there. Right now he has 23,000 income versus 19. So he does have a decent advantage moment, but I can easily chase. This good amount of despicable neutral properties on the map. Infantry, Battlecopter, Artillery, Recon. Olaf's tank gets in range as two of his opponent's tanks. However, charging forward like that would be not a good idea, because he doesn't have vision of either of them. Recon tank strikes over here. This tank can get in range. Recon infantry should be able to displace this capping infantry unit there. But if he does get a strike there of his tank against this tank, he will receive artillery fire. But of course it's not the forest, so this one does not necessarily know it's there. Olaf did pull back down south, which is a good call at this moment in time. Strikes the artillery and finishes off, leaving him tanks in range of his opponent's tanks. Strikes the infantry unit there. Infantry, Neo-tank infantry. Bombos at income where he can deploy on Neo-tank every turn. And Olaf has foil a medium tank this region. Interrupts this capture there. Tank does get finished off, and gets good hit there on the infantry unit there. Good strike there. Deletes his cruiser. Get a good strike there on the tank, and good strike there on this tank. The Lizard's now available, but probably will not be seeing it. Olaf has a pretty good amount of core tanks here. This 4 health tank could strike one of the 7 health or 8 health tank, and then the wounded tanks to strike something else, but overall not seeming too great for Von Bolt down south. 104 versus 105, so he is about a full turn ahead when it comes to income. Does use the 6 health tank there to get a good strike. Does not finish off the tank. Does finish off there. Recon will strike the full health infantry unit there, almost takes it out. The 6 health infantry does get picked off there. Merges those 2 tanks, gets the other tank on top of a property, and just pulls back the other tank there, just so he gets a better position and passive ambush. Charging forward, attacking something will probably just result in his death and won't be cost effective. Tank, infantry, battlecopter, tank. Does get that tank on top of a property to get a little bit extra healing going. Winter Fury is almost available as well. In fact, Winter Fury, looks like the power chart difference between the two is 48 to 150 versus 46. So overall, Olaf probably took more damage than he dealt with that difference, but it's only by a small margin. Neo tank towards the center. Recon does, or APC does fall back there. Winter Fury could possibly be popped next turn. Unlikely though. The following turn is very likely for Winter Fury though. Ex Machina is still pretty far away. Neo tank just staying out of range. This Neo tank. If the medium tank get a good first strike there on the Neo tank, that would be great for Olaf. Now Neo tank infantry in base skip. So it looks like Olaf won the Neo tank of the field. Bombolt now has 2. Neo Tank strikes a regular tank there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's in range of the medium tank. Just need to make sure that there is an opening to it. In this case, there's not. But cracking this infantry open would be not too terribly difficult. Just needs a pair of infantries for that. As I mentioned, Winter Fury is almost available, which could also whittle down the Neo tanks, along with everything else. Winter Fury is available in approximately another 1,500, so it needs to do with another 3,000 damage. That's not too terribly difficult. Does finish off there with that one last one. He need another 50 funds. So there's his 50 funds. And here comes the Winter Fury. Takes out the artillery. Strikes that infantry unit there. Recon pushes way forward. Good strike there on the recon there. Neo Tank strikes the, or medium tank strikes the Neo Tank. And we'll bring up artillery piece for some covering fire. No, not the Rachel superpower. Bombard could get his Ex Machina next turn, but that is a bit of a tall order. Need to inflict 20,000 damage. Which I suppose, Neo Tank's actually out of range of the medium tank. There's also a piece of sea tile there. Neo Tank just falls back. Both of them gonna heal up there. It's gonna go as day-to-day funds, pretty much. This good strike there in the recon, knocks it out. Tank strikes tank. Ooh! Ooh, I didn't realize he was able to crack it out. I didn't think that he was going to get it this turn. And this Ex Machina nuked this central formation. Means this next turn, these units cannot move. And that's a pretty sizable formation now locked down. He can take his time. He effectively has a double turn down south. I was not paying close enough attention to it. I just sort of ripped it off thinking it was not possible. But he did get it. He ends turn for 138,000, Olaf for 105, so Von Bolt is in a pretty good position right now. And all these units are force weighted and whittled down as low by 3 health. Neo Tank will push his way forward. Get some good hits of the Battlecopter Neo Tank. But that's the only thing that he could make moves down south. Good moves. But is it enough? Tank can hit quite hard there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So can't range that medium tank there. Data repairs took quite a bit. Leaving through a good number of units there. Does not take the battle cover, but effectively knocked out. Good strike there. Blizzard now available. Probably won't be seeing that. It's only, I think, Blizzard is only super useful when he's fighting against Eagle. Recon, tank, recon. Answered for 138,000, just like last turn. And Olaf starts turn with 95,000, so he's still pretty far behind. I'm so surprised counterattack. Oh, counterattack damage took out that one. I thought it was going to take out the Battlecopter. So nothing really stopped this Neo tank here. Battlecopter gets some damage there, but it's on top of a 3-star city. Not to mention that Battlecopter has 7 health and will get day-to-day repairs. Battlecopter, artillery, tank, infantry. Another capture property there. Was that a flip or just despicable neutral? There's still one property in the middle right here that's despicably neutral. Is that battlecopter infantry unit? Anti-air, tank infantry, and nothing from the airport. This Neo-Tank still has free reign in the center of the map. Flips the property. Battlecopter recon infantry anti-air. Flipping the property up north. Interrupts the capture and fully stops it there. He could charge and hit these 3 light tanks. Of course, still have to be careful that Neo-Tank he still knows exists. Takes the medium tank, reveals the indirect, and puts some rounds into it. The recon will probably be shelled by the artillery piece. Another Winter Fury should be able to be deployed in the next turn. Needs another approximately 2,500 damage, which should be pretty simple enough with this indirect right there. And down to another... Does have Winter Fury available. Not popping it just yet. It's generally a good idea in my opinion to pop it immediately. Those things not, so he's foregoing some kills this turn and power charge. So he's deciding not to pop the superpower just yet. That's interesting. Oh, pops at the end of turn? Okay. Some of those engagements here could have been one-shots, but in this case, it's a little bit late, but does get popped. Medium tank infantry tank. Vonbolt still halfway to his superpower, but only halfway. He's on 139, which last time I checked, he was at 138. But Olaf's at 149, so they're pretty even at the moment, just back down to day-to-day fun difference. Here, recon infantry. Olaf's turn. Battlecopter will finish off the battlecopter. Recon will strike that unit there, and the Neo-Tank will check out that regular tank. His Neo-Tank is out of range of this Neo-Tank. Very good position there. Strikes 8 here as well, getting more free range to this battlecopter. Medium tank, APC, and infantry. Not sure why you went for an APC. There's good strikes over here. They'll say outrange his opponent's medium tank, or Neo-Tank, which is quite important. Though if the Neo-Tank strikes the Neo-Tank, regardless of its direction, it probably will spark an Ex Machina. Olaf's turn. He has vulnerable end turn of 160,000. Olaf will start turn 141, so Olaf once again is falling a little bit behind. Ex Machina is now available. It's hard to say. It'll probably strike around here. Double medium tank. The Ex Machina could strike actually over here with the APC. 16, 16, 32, 37, 38, 39 right here. I don't see a spot where we can strike both these battle copters, but if it strikes here, that'd be 9, 14, so it'd be 23, or that'd be 21, 30, 37, 38. So striking right here with Ex Machina. Yeah, I think it'll strike down here. I don't see a way where it can strike over here. This, actually no. 22, 29, 38. It will strike around here. Probably strike right here. Nope, it struck down here. I think the infantry nearby waited away from this area, which may be a bad thing for Von Bolt. Striking over here would allow him to position Neotank to strike this Neotank. I think he should have tried scattering these units there. He sees a pretty high value threat here. It could have easily struck right here if he pulled infantry units away, because 22, 29, and then this would make it 38. Right? This would be, of course, with our cast version, we see 16, 16, so that's 32, 33, 34, 39. Okay, so still would strike around there. My bad. But does finish off those outlying units there. Now at least neutralize this formation bedtime. Both these medium tanks are on properties, so repairs will be consumed. And Olaf almost is enough for another Ex Machina. Yep, it did strike there. Not Ex Machina. Olaf has almost enough for a Winter Fury. This needs a little more power charge, about 300 damage. That will get it. And Winter Fury gets summoned again. Winter Fury number 3. Currently, Von Bolt has 101. Olaf has 121. So Olaf is starting to pull ahead. The Winter Furies are really hurting Von Bolt now. 112 after repairs. Has still 24,000 in bank, so the repairs must have been too significant. Or we had a bit of bank I wasn't realizing. Neotank can strike Neotank. That can give him a good amount of power charge. That won't be given to his opponent as well. Of course, everything be moving a little bit more slowly this turn. Battlecopter. Tank infantry. There's going to be a decent amount of repairs next turn, since another Neotank's on top of the HQ. Battlecopter's out of range of Battlecopter. Medium tanks push their way forward. Von Bolt does have 2 Neotanks, of course, they're both wounded. Von Bolt's turn goes for tank, Battlecopter, infantry. And takes up a Neotank, very nice. Once again, Von Bolt is pulling ahead. Has about turn advantage. Here, Recon Infantry. He has 26,000 versus 24,000, and looks like all the properties are no longer despicably neutral, barring a central comm tower. Not comm tower, lab. Anti-air Battlecopter infantry. Medium tank shooting range this Neotank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from both angles as well. But of course, the Neotink is on a missile platform, so 3 defense stars. If combined with the Von Bolster and 10% defense, it could allow him to resist quite a bit of damage from that medium tank. Von Bolt ends turn for 180,000. Olaf's at 135 once again. Looks like Olaf is really only staying in the game with his superpowers. Next Winter Fury costs 108, and the next Ex Machina is 126. There's been 3 Winter Furies versus 2 Ex Machinas. Good strike there on the Neo tank. Very good strikes there. But we have another Neo tank up here. Neo tank Recon Infantry. Blizzard's now available. Also got that tank there. Neo tank shark, so the medium tank almost knocks it out in one shot. Does not manage to machine gun down that medium tank. Takes out the recon there. Good number of battle copters here. Only 1 in here for Von Bolt. Has to be very careful. Can't be suiciding it in just yet. Got another anti-air recon, and T-copter by Von Bolt. It looks like he's starting to pull back out of this region, trying to reinforce everything. Recon, anti-air, infantry. Neotink is a good strike there, but in range it's artillery piece. But of course, it's on top of his property, his own property, so he will get day-to-day repairs and have 3 defense stars. Neotank infantry. So they gets a good strike there on the Neotank, takes up Battlecopter as well. Battlecopter strikes the Neotank there, wounding a little bit, nothing too significant. Winter Fury could be popped this turn. I don't believe Winter Fury can be popped this turn. Here, tank infantry. There could be an Ex Machina this turn, which will likely strike this Neotank and these nearby Battlecopters in some manner. Recon spots the Neotank and the Battlecopter. Winter Fury is now available, needs a bit more power charge for Ex Machina. There's another Battlecopter. Anti-air goes down. Neotank has not pushed way forward. I do think sending this Neotank to strike this Neotank could get enough power charge. And Ex Machina is now available, just need to take out that artillery piece. Let's see where it lands. I guess it is high likelihood to land right here. Yep. With our cast vision, the Neotank is revealed while these two are not, so it did strike the Neotank, but not strike this infantry unit there, so it did not land right here. Or did it land right there? It landed right here, hit the APC, I believe. And with that, Olaf has resigned. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I do need to utilize the restroom. Please give me a moment. apologies, I'm back. So I'm gonna drink. My apologies if that was too loud. And let's go on to next replay. So we just did this player. Let's do this one. Oh. There it goes. So I just had to clear up the screen a little bit, and now time to address the screen itself, at least on the stream side. Wide map. Could shrink this a little bit, or a bit more than a little bit. Go like this. Now I can expand like this. I say that's pretty good. Greetings everyone, and Gerd here with another Advanced Wars 5 Web replay. Spawn on the south side as the Orange Star Kindle. We got Dual Magus. Spawn on the north side as the Green Earth Drake. We got EO2 Star. E2 Star? I have no idea how to pronounce that. It seems simple enough, but I always have trouble pronouncing even the most simplest words. Go ahead yourself at home. Imagine Store Explorer. Read off this name for me. Maybe I can understand it if you guys scream it at me through the monitor. Either way, let's get started. This is a triple base map with a seaport meant for landers, and we also got a airport in the corners with a comm tower, 2 sets of comm towers as well, so 4 comm towers in total. There's 1 sea tower there, so only room for 1 ship placement. So possible battleship stuff for a really defensive, but I don't think I've ever cast a game on this map before. This map may be relatively new, at least in the rotation. We've got a recon here. And all the bases are pretty congested right here. Got a lot of open ground here and here, but I don't see a lot of movement here. This base is surrounded by mountains and decent amount of forest here, so Wheelion's going to have trouble getting on out. He's not on shores here. So infantry can get over here pretty quickly. Or, yeah, quickly enough. Try to see how a battleship right here. Battleship just won't get good coverage. It may be in the middle of the map, but just won't get good coverage. And here's the thing as well. Drake may have additional defense on his battleships, but Kindle, if she doesn't move a battleship off the seaport, will give plus 40% firepower. To a ridiculous amount of firepower there. I just realized something as well. Expand this downwards. There we go. Probably should have done that. May have missed some stuff. That way you guys can read it behind the text. Actuality, one thing I could do as well. Something I just realized. The one thing is like when it comes to streams, like you can see here, this text below the other text. Let's see. All chat. This is the CO here. Move that there. And now this takes. Oh. Huh, wait. Okay, got it. I can't do it like that. Never mind. Yep, I just feel like, based on how I have everything, it's going to be just sort of underneath the text. My apologies. By the way, we do have a couple of Drake tanks. They are completely and utterly ordinary, which is perfectly fine in most situations. Kindle's tanks are also ordinary, barring the fact she can get booster strike from attacking off urbanized properties, which can be quite powerful. And look at this here. Recon spots infantry, does not spot tank. Tank charge forwards, interrupt capture, but now Kindle could pull this infantry unit off there and she can get a booster strike onto this tank here. Which is probably a good idea, or could do a drunken capture of this infantry unit here. There she has 2 options, attack from planes or attack from the property. Let's see what she does right here. Oh, there's a teacup in the field. Didn't realize that as I was messing around with the thing. It does get boost strike there for pretty good damage onto that tank. And with our cast vision, we see the 2 Drake's two other tanks are over here, not ready to support this tank. So Kindle does get a free first strike. Pulls back that tank there, try to capture this property, out of vision range, of course. We've got mechs now going across the mountains. Double tank by Drake. Drake right now has 15,000, so he can go for double tank each turn. Wait, did Kindle base skip last turn? Was not paying close enough attention to that. I'll try and flip the property here. Drake does have his comm tower. And he may not need to go. May not go for battlecopters because right now they get minus 30% firepower, which is actually a bit more crippling. 1 and 2 may be fine, but definitely can't go for more than that the entire game. This tank can get a good shot onto this tank here, but will receive retaliation damage from the mech. Or at least able to retaliate strike. Comm tower will be captured this turn, number of properties as well. 17,000 versus 18. Mech looks like a good shot there. Then maybe mech deployed off here this turn. And there's actually a decent amount of mechs on this game. Mech anti-air infantry. Kindle has gone for an anti-air, which is actually a gamble. You could actually skip an anti-air when fighting against Drake and just go for your own battlecopters counter your opponent's battlecopters, since in this case her battlecopters would just be superior or vastly superior depending on the terrain she's attacking from. Mech gets picked off there. Mech gets a great strike on that tank. Could have probably let this guy take it out or try to fall back to a property, but may have been out of range. But Drake's taking a commanding lead over here, but so is Kindle. Anti-air, tank, infantry. Tank on tank. This is not urbanized terrain. Just 3 defense stars, the missile platforms. And we do have an Urban Blight available. Urban Blight can be quite powerful. Improves your urban strike damage from 40 to 80%, as well as inflict blight on any sort of unit on properties. 3 damage, which is very nice. Her superpower is good, while her Urban Blight is excellent. Tank, recon, infantry. So a good number of properties still despicably neutral. Good double tap there in the tank, hits this infantry unit there. As well, she can just simply put an infantry unit on top of that property and retaliate from it, but the recon gets on top. If you're going to be fighting next to properties, if you clear out the property, make sure you put something on top of it, or else Kindle can use it to really boost off from an Urban Blight, because plus 8% firepower is quite absurd for very limited terrain. Kindle is just interesting. She offers a lot of thinking how to use her abilities. I sort of like Kindle. Just a lot. It's just you have to think very differently when fighting with or against her, since she gets a weird buff of the urbanized attack. Mech infantry tank. Kindle ends turn from 80,000. Drake starts turn from 92, so Drake has a pretty sizable lead right now. Couple good strikes there, and oh, what? Pops a tsunami. That's interesting. We do have a tsunami, 1 global damage, half fuel gone. The T-copter is pretty close to crashing now, but I was not expecting a tsunami. That's interesting. Maybe we'll unplay the Fuel Blade game. Urban or High Society is now available. Nothing much here. Yeah, it's probably a bad idea to go for High Society. As much as I actually do see good use of it, she does not have enough forces here to make good use of it. Right now, a high society provide her approximately plus 60% firepower, combined with the possible firing from urbanized terrain, of which is additional 130%, with additional 10% firepower and defense. Popping high society when attacking from urbanized terrain will give you plus 200% firepower. Wait, she popped it. I disagree with this. Look, there's nothing much in range here. She will have plus 60% firepower, but there's not too many engagements I can see. Yeah, probably pretty easy kill there. Yeah, guaranteed kill. I wonder. Whoops. Not bad, actually. It would be a good idea to launch this attack. You will lose a unit in return, but still, it's worth it. Pretty good shot there. 84 to 91%, depending the percentage health. That could be a high luck roll. Good shot there. Anti-air strikes that. Got 3 damage. Okay, she did a lot better than I expected right there. I can admit when I'm wrong. I mean, right now Drake just completely lost his flank due to the very well positioning. I always forget there's actually shores there, so it's easy for stuff to go up this way. This map is not you guys. Since the first time I cast this map, I forgot that she could go up that direction. But a pretty good high society. Urban Blight would not be able to accomplish what High Society accomplished there. So I think that was a pretty good High Society. I didn't think that was that good, but then she pulled off enough attacks to make it worth it, I would say. The only thing immediate that I can say to Kendall only has ended turn 60, or right now 60,000 versus 111. Ugh. She is still not great. She's down by significant more than nearly 2-to-1 ratio. Not looking good for her, that's for sure. Mech, it's a good strike there on that tank. Neo tank. The North Battlecopter just has to be careful about this anti-air. She is out of range, the anti-air. Hopefully she can get an attack on the anti-air with this tank here. Then her Battlecopters can just start raining. I hope that tank is in range of the anti-air, just a matter of spotting it. Is that tank there? Mech can finish off one of these units. The other stuff is out of range of this mech. Tank, mech, and artillery. Ends turn of 123,000. Kindle starts with 79. Still nothing good for her. Small picks overall. Oh, gets trapped. And looks like she does not spot this anti-air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, easy range. Recon, tank, infantry. T-Copter gets back to the airport. Urban Blight's now available, which could allow her to get Boost Strike off this property, but I don't think anything can get on top of that property. Drake has Mass Force here. He may just pop Tsunami. Artillery, infantry, recon, so no Tsunami. Urban Blight could be popped, which will be knows he'll whittle down a recon of all things. Black Boat, another recon anti-air there. Some decent hits for Urban Blight. Takes out that tank there. Getting power charge before popping Urban Blight is always a good idea. And does pop it there, very nice. Oh, it does not pick it off there. But probably pretty close, isn't it? That's a 50-50 luck roll, looks like. And loss of the luck roll. Infantry unit may be able to finish it off, though. Yes. That's probably close to 1% health. Mech anti-air battlecopter. This battlecopter could move forward and strike. Yep. Oh. Strikes at that one. 3 defense stars, 1 defense star. Gets a good strike there. Another tank over here as well. There's a good number of tanks in the region, but there's no anti-air, so the battlecopter does have free reign. Battlecopter strikes Neo Tank. Gets some damage there, but took quite a bit of damage in return. We could see a Typhoon this turn. Saxon a tank there to pop the Typhoon. Black Boat is getting pretty low in fuel. 11 turns before it sinks. The land Black Boat sinking. Like the land Titanic. Kindle's turn. Drake ends serve 122. Kindle starts turn 65. Ugh. Oh, and there's a resign button. This Android saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see. Let's do... I'll just cruise around for a moment. Let's do this one. It's been a while since I last cast Sammy. All map. Let's see, that should be fine. I think that seems fine enough. Let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the north side is the Silver Claw Jess, we've got the Aegis, or Aegis. Well, on the south side is the Yellow Comet Sami, we've got Thomas Maximus. Technically the Aegis, it's the AE symbol, technically I think is a proper way to spell it. It's just that you don't know how to write the AE symbol. If I remember correctly, you hold down, what was it? Alt 0198. Yes, for the capital AE symbol. Because beforehand, before I was Angrade, I was going by Aegion, which is the AE symbol, G-I-O-N. But then when I got my avatar, I decided to rebrand myself. My channel had 200 subscribers, so not too big of an issue, I believe. By the way, let's go ahead and get started. Oh wait, I forgot to hit the record button. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the south side is the Yellow Sami, we got Thomas Maximus. On the north side is the Silver Claw Jess, we got the Aegis. This map is a 3-base map, and we've got a bit of a dynamic here. We've got the Vehicle Specialist versus the Infantry Specialist. Sami does get minus 10% firepower on other direct units, so her indirect such as artillery should still be perfectly normal. Jess, and all of her counterpart, does have plus 10% firepower on all of her ground vehicles, but all other units, excluding foot soldiers, lose 10% firepower, so less off battlecopters. In here, let's see, foot soldiers gain plus 10% attack, 10% capture run, All other direct units, and so that includes the direct air units, will also lose firepower. But battleships and artillery do not lose less firepower. Maybe I'll just move this over here a little bit. That way I can highlight the words and will be less overlapped. Not like I need to do it again. No, looks like rain's coming down again. Been having scattered thunderstorms the past week. Got double recon by Jess. And we have a forward mech buff by Sami. He has her own recon form field. More recons. I wonder how many mechs Sami will go for. She does get a very good footage and firepower for them, but it's of course very difficult to get mechs connect with a target. But a, let's see, a double time, her power does give +1 movement range, right? Yes. Do not doubt the double time. +1 movement range on your infantry mechs can be very nice. But of course, I understand why going for Victory March for capturing properties instantaneously, regardless of what health of units, is also very good. And also, I advise Jess to put some unit, regardless of what health or quality, on top of HQ to vent the sneaky Victory March. Because after all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. An infantry unit there, hidden this force, can go to this HQ and win the game. Let's just say that's what happened last time I think I cast Sami on this map. I think her opponent was Lash. Who the players are, I cannot remember. It was definitely one of the early replays I casted for Advanced Wars by Web. Tank and Recon there. Recon strikes infantry. Got a T-Copper and mech, and tank into recon. So both players have gotten one tank and gotten an early anti-air here. I suppose Mind Sensitive firepower on Battle Cops is not too terribly bad. After all, these players' Battle Cops would be equally inadequate, but still good. Interrupts the capture as well. No, not interrupt. I keep on forgetting the Sami. Double capture speed, which means this is 6 capture progress with 5 capture progress remaining. I keep on forgetting that. Mech can get a good ambush strike on the recon. It will be cost effective. No. I think she could have got the capture there, and the mech could have got a strike from right there. I don't know why she pulled back the infantry in there. Go get the capture. I disagree with that. Sure, having mech in open ground is, of course, not great, but it will still be a good trade up. 3,000 versus 4,000 unit with 1 less missing health. So effectively 3,040, 400 unit. If my math is incorrect. Though, now think about it, ATR is not too terribly bad against Sami, because ATR is also pretty good versus infantry. Got a possible flip here. Tank ATR. Tank on recon. Finish it off there. Of course, tank can retaliate. Mech in range though, so if this tank push forward, hits this tank, the mech can just simply swap it out and get some good retaliation. Mech now capture this property. Mech, infantry, recon, artillery. Good strike on the mech, but of course we'll be in range of this mech, but the infantry unit does get a good shot into it, but maybe not good enough. Some health mech Sami. Let's see, with her firepower additional 30% reduced to 7. There's effectively still full health normal mech to make that shot. It's ever so slightly weaker. It's like a 97% mech. Yeah, go for it. I mean, it's the best situation either way. Decided to take the shot from the property. Infantry unit gets picked off, got spotted by the tank. Interrupts the capture there. And finishes off the infantry unit there. So right now, Sami's infantry play seems pretty on point. Jess did save 13,000 income, so there may be Neotech next turn. Does get trapped there. 30,000. Don't go for a Mega Tank against Sami. You don't need a Mega Tank against Sami. Please tell me you're not going to go for a Mega Tank against Sami. Sorry. Though stealth. Sami does not want to go for a fighter. Nobody really wants to go for fighter, but stealth is a possibility. Tank, battlecopter infantry, okay. With 8,000 funds left, okay. Was not expecting that, honestly. Right now, Jess has a better capturing game, 21,000 versus 18. I think the forfeiting some of these properties is capture not been too great. Does capture that one. Turbocharge now available. And Sami has a Neotank. I was not paying attention to that. And this artillery piece is pretty forward, but not going to be covering this capturing squad. Double times now available. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Okay, so no high asset for Jess. For Sami does have Neotank, so she's teched up, which will be perfectly fine for opponent's tanks, even with the less firepower. Capturing that property, does a unit nearby for a joint capture. Picks off some of these outlying units there, very nice. Tank on there. Finish off the infantry unit there. Making great progress down south. Of course, it's the strong side. That's her weak side. Luckily, her weak side she can use mechs. Capture progress will take 2 more turns, so did not have to push forward and would not use those units. And we got a battlecopter here. Both players deploying on some battlecopters. They're, like I said beforehand, they're equally inadequate. Mech is in good position to strike this recon. Or that tank. Get the high mobility units. Yep, I think Sami's disintegrating up north really badly. She sent no vehicles this way, just infantry, and they have been overran, to say the least. Does get trapped there. Oh, the recon did its job. A recon. Mech strikes tank. Don't think dropping off the units here will be useful. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Oh, did not load up with something? Try for the comm tower. At least Black Bolt here means the battlecopter can interrupt the capture, so that may have been what he did, or she did, just trying to occupy the position to allow the battlecopter to retaliate. There is a anti-air on top of this forest. Mech will not be arranging, but we'll be able to range these 2 regular tanks. And now we do have a mid-game superpower overdrive. I don't know how effective this will be. I mean, everything she has... Yeah, I don't know why. Everything up here has already been used. It's just meant for +2 movement range, looks like. Spam bots. Give me a moment to clear out that spam bot. There we go. Yeah, I'm not too impressed by that superpower. I probably would advise her to wait a turn. Multiple properties being flipped up here. This one will take another 9 turns. The other ones will take this to the next turn. Good strike there. Could possibly see double time, or not double time. Victory March, she has placing free unit on top of HQ. Very good. Just something there. Just something to prevent the one turn I lose the game. Double time. She has enough power charge for another double time turn, so we may see actually a force march. Wait, no, that's another superpower. Good strike there, so we see multiple possible a chain of double times. Not going super greedy. Did not interrupt this, so she will forfeit the comm tower. Artillery gets a good strike there. Keeping the one helping units actually alive is important for the victory marches. Tank infantry. Ends a turn of 9,000. And will forfeit this comm tower. Oh, look at this. 132 versus 89. Sami's doing quite well in the Brawl game. Though having trouble with the capturing game. Isn't that supposed to be backwards? She has a Neo-Tank, but the Neo-Tank is revealed on a captured comm tower, which just managed to obtain for some odd reason. They strike the tank there. Of course, the comm tower does buy 3 stars of defense. Good shot in the battlecopter. Mech does take a hit there. A bit of scouting. This Mech strike this tank here. So down a comm tower is quite important. Mech infantry there. I think mechs against Sami is actually a good idea. She's not really going to go for heavy vehicle play. Are we going to see another double time? Does not take time to proper scout out that tank there. Neo-Tank's good strike there. This can help her turn around up north. Infantry, 2 infantry units ready to load in the black boat. Gets trapped there. Infantry strikes there. ATR strikes infantry. Is finished off. Capture. Keep this one health infantry unit alive for a nice victory march. Is always going to be quite nice. Always. Honestly, one health infantry units are pretty good for meat shields as well. ATR surrounded by mechs. Usually that's a good case, but not this situation. And we do have an APC in the field as well, so we've got heavy transport played by Sami. She does get +1 movement range on her transports. It gets a great strike at an ATR. Battlecopter here will reign supreme then. Infantry, ATR, infantry, battlecopter. Double or victory march is almost available. Does not pick up that one health infantry unit there. Even with 2 comm towers, I'm surprised I didn't get the kill. That must be at 1% health. Sami's turn. Be another 15,000 funds in order to get out a victory march. Of course, need to inflict 30,000 damage, which is easier said than done, that's for sure. It's a bit of a luck roll at that point in time of how much percentage health you have left. She did fail the luck chance. Not necessarily luck roll, just chance. Mech could take time to finish off that battlecopter, but pushing forward is always probably a good idea. And Victory March is almost available. Overdrive is available, and the Victory March. Not a good idea to go for a victory march just yet. Maybe ready to try to sneak some infantry units in the forest. They only have to be at 1 health in order to get the sneaky captures. Let's see. She doesn't have to also pop the victory march immediately. She can try to do a bit of prep time. I'm just going to assume this opponent... A lot of possibilities. I see units are ready to go for the march. And we got the full superpower overdrive. Giving all the vehicles quite a bit of extra firepower. It does give her ground vehicles plus 40% firepower. Adds up to. And it's supposed to do movement. And of course, a bit of resupply and everything. We do have a Neo tank here. A lot of 1 health infantry units there. This lab could be captured. But we'll see the victory march this turn. Probably good idea not to hold on to it for too long. So let's see. Scouting. Victory march there. Could have got the capture there. Try and clear out some of these spots. Gets the capture there. Reclaims the comm tower. Very nice. First priority is that's probably a good idea. Artillery gets a good strike there. We have a Salami medium take out to stabilize this region. Takes up the anti or battlecopter. Could have got a swipe with that lab. Not like this is super important. Well, just went from 22,000 to 20,000. Also lost the comm tower, so now it's neutral. At least equal comm towers on both sides. Sami has 137 versus 95, so Sami is doing quite well. This artillery piece is actually almost out of ammo as well, so it's doing some good work there. Trying to flip those properties back. Tank does a good strike there in the anti-air. Gets trapped by a regular tank. Infantry mech anti-air tank. With 84,000 in the bank, or 8,400. So I'm just going for heavy and recons. Artillery gets another good strike there. Battlecopter and battlecopter violence. Mech gets a great strike on that tank there. Neo tank could pop forward on this property there, but will probably be spotted and would be in range of this Neo tank, which she does have vision of thanks to the battlecopter. Infantry, recon, battlecopter, infantry. There's just way too many transports. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. What does a Sami transport play? Like, there's 4 transports on the field when you can start off the game with 1. I do think she went for a little bit too heavy in transports, but she is playing Sami. She's doing quite well with the infantry and mechs. Mechs counter everything, but they get countered by everything, something I like to say. Does get trapped there. Good strike on that tank, but the Sami Neo tank is now in range of the Jess Neo tank block. Can't speak. And also something that Sami could do is soften up with the mech or try to finish off the mech. Probably could do that, try to soften it up with the mech. Yeah, something I would like to see is mech here, engage Neo tank. 2 points of damage is going to be quite liable. Then the Neo tank will have a bit easier time. Perhaps maybe pull back the entry there and get double tag it with mechs. Yeah, and then have the Neo tank finish off. I think that's what Sami should do. Mech, Neo. That could or potentially finish off this Neo tank this turn. Oh, was the retaliation damage that high? This thing must have been slightly wounded because it got to 8 points of damage, so it shouldn't be at 105%. So looks like it was already wounded there. Mech will get a good follow-up shot there. 6 health. Well, it looks like it won't finish off this turn, but... Oh, it does! I thought the zombie tank would not finish off with the 10% less firepower. It must be accumulation damage and rolled high luck. So, finish off with Jess Neotank allows her own Neotank have free reign up north. In fact, there's nothing to stop it. The 4F Battlecopter can't do much versus it. So Jess needs a scramble response of some sort. Sasami is playing the brawling game very well. She's usually the one who has to rely on heavy eco, but not this case. So this Sami is doing excellent in the brawl. And Jess has resigned. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. And that shall do it for me tonight.